I decided to do a short TikTok video about the Bracero program. The audience being my brothers, one being 24 and the other being 15 years old. So TikTok, I feel like, is the best way to reach them. And also, I wanted to do the Bracero program because my grandpa was also worked with them, and we never got to meet. My grandpa also worked with the Bracero program, which we never got to meet. So I feel like this is a cool experience to like know what struggles he faced through and another way to relate to him. So the Bracero program, in its simplest form, was an exploitation of Mexican labor that Anglos would treat, and the Anglos would treat the Braceros like slaves. World War II happened. Most of America's workforce left to support the efforts, leaving behind a shortage of workers. This Bracero program was formed on August 6, 1942. The program was recruited to satisfy alleged U.S. labor shortages during the Second World War. Braceros were an invaluable source of labor. The program lasted until December 31st, 1964. Mexico's president at the time preached that this was their patriotic duty to Mexico, argued that they would earn U.S. wages and learn U.S. agricultural railroad maintenance methods and skills that would prepare Mexican male workers to invest and work in Mexico and move the nation forward. Mexico and the United States finalized on a deal results in the Bracero program where Mexicans would come work in the U.S. mainly in agriculture and laying down railroad tracks. The Braceros were working harsh conditions on the field. It included long working days while bending over the whole time. So, 12-hour working days, 13, maybe 14-hour working days, bending over the whole time. So there was putting so much stress on their backs. And the rancheros would not let them, like, sit up or stretch. Like, as soon as one of them would come up, they'd yell, like, hey, get down. And as well, they were working in the desert. So during the summer, they would put, like, buckets of water at the end of the field, and the rancheros would not let them take breaks. So at the end they could only drink water at the end of the working day. So being out in the sun, you're sweating so much. Some will like they would say they said that at the end of the working day they felt dizzy, and some would even faint while they were working. And the ones that would faint would not receive any medical attention. The braceros would also work with DDT, an insecticide that was used in the fields as well. Braceros would also get fumigated with DDT before crossing the border. So this insecticide was also carcinogenic, and it's legal now, but yeah, it was just real bad stuff. My aunt told me that while my grandpa was working in the fields, the rancheros didn't clear everyone out of the field properly, so they sprayed their crops with DDT, and my grandpa fainted because he suffocated from the insecticide. So that's one of the one of the harsh things that they did too. Many Mexicans were taken advantage of, poor housing, low wages, and no health care. So the picture of my kids crammed in a dog cage is supposed to represent the braceros and the barracks. They would fit so many that there was no room to lay down or to walk. The braceros would also argue that many of them would do a week's work of labor and only get paid a penny for it. And many out of their paychecks too, they were also being like they were charging them for food when they were barely eating, when they were barely eating. Also for housing, when the housing was just crap, during the summer, it would get so unbearably hot in the barracks. It would get like, and you'd be sleeping in an oven. Many of them would just go outside, take their mattresses outside and just sleep outside instead. And thank you. This was my Bracero program.